It's costing us way too much. Greetings, what's up? It's Deborah. Happy Monday to you. And I just need to tell you that I need to speak out about this because I see this just way too much. Even in my own parenting, I see like, oh my goodness, where did that come from? And it's like auto programmed in me, and I see it all around me. But I want to call it out because it's really problematic. And as I am forgiving of myself and accepting of where I am and continuously looking to improve and do better and be more aligned with who I know I am at my core, I want to encourage you to do the same. So, what is it, without any judgment or blame, what is it that I'm talking about? I'm talking about this idea and this concept that is so ingrained in our society that we can guilt and shame people into taking the right kind of actions and think that that's a good thing. It's not a good thing, okay? The problem is when people do anything based on a specific emotional charge, that charge gets attached to whatever it is they're doing. So for this reason, I've always said if I notice that someone, I've had a couple of times where people were getting out their credit card, but they were scared, they were shaking, they were uncomfortable. I said, don't do it. Just put your credit card away because this is not the energetic charge or the emotional charge that we want to bring into the work of transformation. That's not something that I want charged on this work with you. So I'm really careful about that. And what I have found is that through the idea of punishment and reward, or somebody else feeling like they have the right to make laws and rules for how you should live, all of these different things create inordinate amounts of guilt. We all have some guilt that would be natural, and guilt in itself is not bad in healthy measure. When you're like, oh man, I feel guilty that I didn't, I don't know, call that person before they died or whatever. It might help you in some ways, but most of the time, the goal of guilt is just simply maybe to call something to your attention so that you can address it. It's not to be used on a constant basis the way it's used. It's problematic. And like I said, I see it even sometimes in my own parenting. So it's a continuous effort on my part to unwrite that scripting of using guilt as a motivator. Instead, what I encourage is for you to actually take the time to find out, if I'm not motivated to do something that I think I should do, why is that? What is the reason for my not wanting to do it? There's got to be a reason. And when you look at things in that way, which is that approach of radical self-acceptance and zero judgment, it gives you the freedom to find the real hiccup and to then address that hiccup. And then you don't have to have guilt to be motivated to do it, because you'll naturally be motivated to do the right thing, whatever the right thing is, right? But when we take this energetic charge of guilt and we put it on our actions, it has a ripple effect. It passes guilt on to others, it passes shame on to others, and it passes this need of doing things out of a sense of duty instead of out of a sense of joy. It ends up becoming a systemic problem, which is what we have right now in our society. There's so much guilt and shame consciousness, and it's in everything. It's in everything. I'm going to choose to not give specific examples, but I just want to say that it's in everything, from the way, like I said, from the way I parent to commercials, how we're encouraged to eat, to political debates, to just general movies and entertainment, to the way our school systems are set up. I mean, every aspect of life, this is in there in high amounts. And when you learn how to stop judging yourself and which then leads eventually to you stop judging others, because once you learn how to have compassion for yourself in spite of mistakes and flaws, then you learn how to have more compassion for others in spite of mistakes and flaws. And what ends up happening is you end up feeling so much relief that when you feel that weight of guilt brought back down on you, you're like, oh, no, 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 I don't want that. And so you have like almost like a knee jerk reaction of resisting whatever is trying to dump that guilt on you, whatever it might be. And so that's kind of where I am right now, where I can sense it and feel it at a much higher level because I've been practicing zero judgment and radical self acceptance for a long time. And remember, let me just be clear in case you're thinking I'm trying to sit on any high hill here. I am not. We always teach what we need. So I have been the most judgmental and critical of myself. And it's learning how to undo that and go in the opposite direction that gave me this drive, this passion to learn this that I can now share with others. It's because I've been there. So I thoroughly empathize with you if you've ever felt like guilt has just become this heavy burden that you can no longer bear. And I'm just trying to give you the option because, and I'm tearing up as I say this, because I know there were books and there were teachers that they said one thing, one idea, one concept, and it was like they unlocked a jail cell for me. And I was able to walk out and feel freedom for the first time in my life in that area. And so I'm just trying to pass on that gift that was given to me, that sometimes we can feel like there's no way out, like we're just under this heavy burden. And I just want you to understand that you don't have to carry guilt and that you don't have to use guilt as a motivator. You can use love, you can use excitement, you can use what I encourage my clients and my community to do is to relax and allow inspiration to flow through you. That inspiration will move you. It will, when you're inspired, you create, you act, you do. And it's not from a place of a low frequency like guilt. It's not from a place of low frequency. It's from a place of truly like vibrating at such a high frequency, just all of your cells just vibrating in resonance. And that's where we want to be. So I hope I gave you a little bit of a contrast between being motivated by guilt and being motivated by true inspiration. And true inspiration is not like, I'm inspired, I'm going to go make this work. It's truly like relaxing and allowing inspiration to flow through you. That's how it works. It does not work when we're trying to be in hustle and logic land. There's absolutely value to hustle and logic land. Don't get me wrong. But that should be following a clear, inspired plan. It's a plan that comes through you. And that comes from relaxing and allowing. It does not come from fighting and forcing. So guilt is a very powerful motivator, but it's not one that I encourage you to use, whether it's on yourself, on your clients or kids, or allow others to use on you, right? Like let's stop that. Let's try our best to be a part of creating a group consciousness that can operate somewhere outside of fear. Yes, it's true that most people still operate, quote unquote, the best or the quickest from fear and guilt. But that's a sign that our society is messed up. It's not a sign it's not something to follow. That's not a trend that we should be following. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say. Now, remember, I'm a proponent, I'm an advocate of oneness. So some of us who are empaths feel that group consciousness a little bit more acutely than others of us, but all of us are influenced by the group consciousness. So just because you aren't directly like today guilting someone or directly being guilted doesn't mean that it's not affecting you. It absolutely is affecting you in so many ways, down to the quality of the vehicle you drive, the clothes you're wearing, the place you live. Every one of those things was created with a specific charge. And most of the time, that charge of guilt or fear produces inferior quality everything, whether it's products, goods, or services, or relationships, doesn't matter. So I just want you to think about that. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are about using guilt to motivate people or to be motivated for yourself. and what your thoughts are. I would love to hear or read them. And that's it for today. I'm going to sign off now. Much love. Bye.